Good morning. Good morning. It is April 28th, 2024. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunar Beaches Crypto, where we ride the waves of the crypto markets. This is Swim Lesson, or Swim, Sunday Workshops Interpreting Markets. This is where there's friends of the channel, or anybody, really, in a Discord. Discord members can just hop up into Swim on Discord, join the free Discord. We got Blackie Chan in here already. Good morning. Good morning, BC Port Court. Melissa, good morning. Mr. J, good morning. We're throwing the waves in the chat. All right, guys. So this is Swim underneath voice channels inside the Lunar Beaches Crypto Discord. I wonder if I need to mute myself, but anyway, I'll be bringing you guys on, whoever wants to come on, if you want to discuss markets. But first, we'll just give a general overview of what we are looking at. Starting off with the Bitcoin, looking a little, not looking very strong. We did have some movement over the weekend, little moves up, but nothing to really write home about. It's just been a little bit, little boring. Not a whole lot of volume on the weekends, of course, but that could all change tonight. We did have a bank collapse. So, yay, another bank collapse. Yo, Army Piper in the chat. What's going on, my guy? What's going on? Nice channel. Oh, yeah, this? Yeah. That right there? Yep. Yeah, that's a nice channel. Kind of like a bull flag-ish, kind of. But anyway, guys, if you want to come on, share your charts, share some thoughts, whatever you'd like to do, just join the Discord. Link in the description is free. Sub to the channel as well. If you're new, please hit that like button while you're here. But yeah, right now we are looking at Bitcoin. We are in this nice little channel here, going to the right and down, so that's a bit of an issue. I would like for this week for Bitcoin to do something like this so that we can create a new high, a higher high, and create a higher low. That would be very nice. Bull flag to 1 million? Yeah, for sure. I mean, technically, if I was to do a measured move on this, be super easy. We could take a bars pattern, go from the low to the high. Okay, measured move, low to the high. Gets us at a little over 100K, which I do think is probably the next move for Bitcoin. Does get us over 100K. It seems like, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like we're close to the bottom, and the reason for that, to me, is because of all the FUD we're starting to get. We're starting to get a ton of FUD. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this DTCC stuff, some kind of clearing type of deal. And we got banks collapsing, or a bank anyway, pretty big bank. Yeah. It always comes at the bottoms, guys. It always comes at the bottoms. Now, that doesn't mean it can't go lower. Of course it can go lower. Anything can happen in these markets. But the narratives is what has me starting to think that we might be soon wrapping up. That doesn't mean we can't come down and take out the lows like I've kind of been expecting. However, that's not something that it's something that I want, really, because we could finally wrap up this range and start moving back to the upside. But because my base case is still we come up here and then we come back down. I still think that's what's going to happen. Actually, I think it's going to be set a new high and then come back down. and then we can march back to the upside. That's just what I think, because I think, that will be what gets most traders, catches most of the market off guard. It's like, yay, we got new all-time highs, and then just wrecked. You won't like it, but I think that's how it's going to be. And then from then on, the rest of the year, it's up only. For most of the year anyway, I think. For the latter half of the year, I think it's going to be just full-on bull mode, and then we'll wrap things up with an election, and everything will die. Maybe not. Bitcoin, yes. I kind of think that possibly. Let me see. Flag lines up perfectly with the trend line drawn from the cycle highs. Sweet. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe perhaps Bitcoin wraps up this year. It retraces probably towards the beginning of the year next year, with alts going and doing their blow off tops towards the end of this year and beginning of next year, and then it's all done. And then 2025, and who knows how long after that, we go full bear mode. Now, that does stray away from my original thought, at least in the Piper Academy Bitcoin price prediction video, that we were going to be seeing the bull market go into next year. But if you think that the bull market is going into next year, or if you think it doesn't end until towards the end of next year, then you're probably way too bullish right now, unless you really do think it's probably going to like $1 million. Because right now, at our current trajectory, we should be hitting cycle highs later this year, not next year, in my opinion. The trajectory that we are currently on just says more that we're more likely ending this year than all the way into December of next year, this year, next year. We'll have to wait and see. If we go by 2017's trajectory, you're really going to do that. Let's take a look at 2017. We can go from low to the high. This would put us at an ending maybe March 25th, so maybe beginning of next year. That wouldn't be too shocking. Now this would, don't look at the price on this. This is more of just like okay, this is the kind of trajectory that we're on. But look at that. Set a new high. You don't even set a new high here. But yeah. I mean, that's right around the 200. I think mine was like 202,000. I'm thinking somewhere between 200 and 300,000 is going to be our cycle top. If I put on the power law indicator, we can see that 300 is probably going to be pretty close to where we get to. But we can come up short, of course. We can go past it. I'm not seeing it for this cycle, but anything can happen. We can have a mass collapse of fiat or something, and then next thing you know, everything just explodes, and currencies go insane, like other currencies, cryptocurrencies, to be specific. Good morning, Justin Eubanks. Flag. Good morning, C90. What's going on? Welcome, friends. Welcome. All right. Let's see. Blackie Chan. You got anything you want to say? Let me unmute. Yeah, the desktop audio, and then you can just come in here and talk, and we'll discuss things. Anybody that wants to come on and talk and discuss things, hop in the Discord. It's free. Just come up in here and let's go. You will probably have to turn down the YouTube stream because I cannot stream inside the Discord and on YouTube at the same time without it just like screwing up. So that's the one issue. Mr. Beaches needs a new computer or new internet. It's one of the two. Probably both. Probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. Maybe after the bull run, we can go do some splurging and, yeah, really bump up quality of everything on here. Blackie Chan and I were talking about how we'll probably maybe be going and doing some stock stuff once the bear market hits. So stick around for that. And, you know, we'll still always be involved in crypto, obviously. But yeah, we've talked about this stuff. Blackie Chan, I see you unmuted. Are you here with me? That's a no. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. We'll see. Ethereum had a nice little move yesterday. It is up on the week, actually. This is a weekly chart. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what it's doing right now, or what it's done for the week. Up 5.5% on the week. Not too bad when you've had so many down weeks. And last week was a nice little hammer. No, doji. That's more of a doji. Doji's equals on both sides, right? Shooting star. I can't keep up with all these names. I just know that it's bullish because we have a long lower wick 2 weeks in a row. I mean, look at all these long lower wicks. That just indicates that as price was being pushed down, the asset was being picked up. It was being bought up like crazy, crazy. So Ethereum is probably one to watch coming up here soon, possibly. It is kind of bull flagging out pretty hard on that weekly time frame. So let's go over to Trading Home. And Black Chan, you can hop in anytime you want. Just say hello. Just say hello. Just say hello. Army Piper, don't forget you can come up in here too. I mean, anybody can. Just come on. Anybody can. Got to figure out the hotkey for talking because push to talk is on. Hold on. Let me fix that. Give me 1 sec, guys. I don't know why. Push to talk would be on. Permissions. View channel, manage permissions. Voice permissions. Here we go. Speak. Allow members to talk in this voice channel. Wait. Use voice activity. Yes. Can you talk now without push to talk? Save changes. Maybe that'll work. Allow members to share the video. Yep. Everything should be. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. 100. So what are you thinking, man? Hello? Hit that like, folks. Oh, FD White in the house. What's going on, man? What's going on, brother? I saw you are.
Well, I just shared my chart on what I was talking about with that bull flag. I have a trend line that's drawn out.
What's going on, man? What's going on, brother? I saw you are.
I just shared my chart on what I was talking about.
Hold on. I need to turn this off. stream volume. Turn that down. There we go. All right. What are we looking at? Mr. J was on here and then hopped out. Are you talking? I had to mute your stream because.
There's like a slight delay, so.
Okay.
But if you see the flag, it goes all the way to this trend line.
And where's that trend line from? Ah.
Cycle high from first cycle, cycle high from second cycle, and then just drawn off that. And it kind of lines up perfectly.
What's that target? Nice confluence on the breakout of the flag. Yep. Gonna have to figure.
Around 100K. Looking like 101.
That's what I'm looking at too. What do you think about this bank collapsing? I know you were talking in the Discord yesterday about fiat currencies and stuff. Why don't you just give us your broad overview of what you think is going on with all of that with fiat currencies and why you think we're on the road to fiat collapse, and how long do you think it'll take for that to occur? It's a little bit of a delay. It's okay.
So, like, the big problem with today's banking system is that it's a fractional reserve lending system, meaning that you give them money and they keep 10% of that in reserves. And then with the other 90% of that, what they're going to do is they're going to take that and they're going to loan it out on interest. And every time someone's not paying that debt, you're devaluing the dollar with fake money that's been created out of nothing. And then you see these banks that are considered too big to fail. And what they'll go in and do is there's the 250 limit on what they can securely pay people from. But you've got $10 billion backing like $13 trillion. And they'll just print new money to make these investors or secure businesses for the economy whole. But that money is now devalued.
And how long do you think it'll take for it to?
I see it collapsing somewhere in my lifetime easily.
Well, let's see. So, do you think we will have a smooth transition? Will it take time for the? Will it be an overnight type deal where everything collapses, or is it going to be like we're going to slowly transition to alternative currencies from the fiat? Yeah, just what are your thoughts on that? Is it going to be slow, or is it going to be kind of rip the band-aid off type deal? Sorry for the delay, guys. We'll work this out.
Well, it really depends if there's a secure system to replace it. If there's a secure system to replace it, then you'd kind of be fine on the transition going slow. But the collapse would probably be very quick, as like in 2008, you lining up for gas, or like in 2001 when 9/11 happened, and all of a sudden, hey, gas was $1.75 when I went to the gas station yesterday, but like right now it's $9 a gallon, and people can't get gas.
Hmm. Go ahead, man. I'm letting you speak however much you want, okay? Because I want people to be introduced to you because
And
in
that's
our
where crypto comes in.
Discord we're going to be having some discussions coming up soon, and I'm going to have Blackie Chan run them. He is BC Port Corp in the uh in the chat, so you all know him. Everybody should know him, and yeah, very very bright guy, and happy to have him as part of the community, and to be running some things, you know. So really happy to hear his thoughts on all kinds of different things. Well, so what's what do you think is the what's next for uh, Bitcoin crypto for this year? Do you think we're close to wrapping up this correction? Do you? I know you're more on fundamentals than you are charts. You're trying to get more into the charts, correct?
Yeah, I'm more on why you invest in certain things as opposed to like what's the time to enter and exit on shorter time frames. Like I'm best at swing trading and things like that.
That's it. This is why the delay kind of sucks. I need you. Can you pause me
I
on
know
YouTube and
my
listen to
prediction
me?
for the cycle top was around 228K, which totally demolishes the trend line.
Can you close the YouTube stream and just talk in the Discord? I think that'll solve a lot of our issues. I'd like a more natural back and forth. You know, it's just better for listening. You know, than having to wait for 15 seconds for a pause. Um, 10,
Yep,
15
I
seconds.
got you unmuted in the Discord now.
Sweet. Better. What is Jay posting in here? Let's see. He says, first time I've seen a pump on the one day chart. Oh, market pumps on the prophecy for chart prime. All right. All right, where were we? All right, so do you think, where do you see passing throughout? How do I put this? Do you see a replacement coming in at all? Will anything uproot Bitcoin from its current, let's say, crypto standard status anytime soon or ever? I mean, I guess eventually there would be something else. But what do you think? You got any? Is there? And if you do think it's going to be replaced by something, what do you think that would be?
So, in my lifetime, I don't see Bitcoin being replaced. I'm 28 years old, so I see that being the digital gold that it's slowly been considered as proven itself and established itself for the entirety of my lifetime. But you do see these DAGs, which are way more scalable, which have higher velocity, which make it more useful for transacting. And that's where you'll come around and have like your gold reserves. So all my savings will be in Bitcoin. And then if I want to transact with another person, then I'm going to use my Bitcoin to get, say, Caspa, and we're going to transact in Caspa. And then you take your Caspa as your payment, and then you put it back into Bitcoin, however much, like say 70% goes into Bitcoin as your savings, and then the 30% is used however, so that you can continue to transact and not get hit by gas fees and such like that. Because the big problem with it is that there are gas fees when you're using this. So you're going to want to put only your savings in something that you know is going to continue to increase in value and have protection.
Alpha. Straight alpha. Um, I had something. Um, well, all right. That's all excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. So you've got your eyes on Caspa, um, for sure. I know that much. Oh, that's what I was going to say. What is DAG? What does that stand for, and what is it exactly? Um, do you know offhand?
Um, DAG is similar to blockchain. Instead of having one connection that it's going through multiple connections, which is making it more scalable. So you're not bogging down nodes with a single transaction. It's all being transmitted kind of separately and then batched together at the end to make a block. I
Gotcha.
can use ChatGPT real quick and see what it comes up with to define DAG.
Yeah. So this is essentially kind of what it looks like. It's instead of like a chain, it's almost like they're all like interconnected. Um, Actually, this is what got me into. Uh, it's direct acyclic graph. um, but yeah, so essentially, instead of like a chain where it's just like a block that links to another block and a chain that links to another block, it is instead more like a web where all the blocks are kind of interconnected. Um, Yo, finally catching a live stream. Let's go. What's up, Tradefly, my guy? Hey, man, join the Discord and hop up in here if you want. We're just having an open discussion, just talking about markets, trying to interpret them to the best of our abilities. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I like about DAG, and I think DAG, because we were discussing last week, or was it this week? I think it was this week actually. We were discussing this week, over in Piper's Discord about what's it called, quantum computing. Do you think a DAG protocol could be secure against that, or no?
You'd still need a quantum computer to run the DAG because the quantum computer would be able to fend off attacks from other quantum computers. If it's run on a regular computer, you're talking about give it seconds and this quantum computer is going to demolish your chain.
Hmm. What is DAG? I really like the DAG. See, a lot of people don't even know about Constellation, which is kind of crazy to me. For everybody that talks about DAG, but they've never heard of the ticker DAG. Like, oh man. But that is kind of crazy. I do I do like the DAGs. What do you got here? You got something popped up, Chat GPT.
Yeah, I just have it. I told it to explain to me what the difference between DAG is and what the difference between a blockchain is, and then I told it to explain it to me as if I'm 10 years old.
What to say?
Um, it says, sure, let's simplify it. Blockchain. Imagine you have a toy train where each car block holds a bunch of toys. Transaction. Each car hooks onto the previous one in a long line. Every time you add a new toy, every time you add new toys, you have to add a new car at the end of the train before you can attach the car. You need to make sure that all your friends agree that it's okay to add it. This makes sure no one cheats by trying to sneak in toys that aren't supposed to be there. But because you need everyone to agree, it can take a bit of time every time you need to add a new car. This is why Bitcoin has low velocity, which makes it very equatable to gold having a low velocity, which makes it extremely secure. Whereas in a DAG, now imagine instead of a toy train, you and your friends are building with Legos. Each Lego piece transaction can connect to several other pieces directly, not just in a line, but in all sorts of directions. You keep building more and more pieces at the same time without having to wait for everyone to agree on one piece before adding another. This means you can build a lot faster because you don't have to build in a line. You can add pieces anywhere you want as long as it sticks to other pieces correctly.
Mm.
And this is what makes it more scalable. But
That's
it still ends up getting batched at the end to confirm blocks.
Hmm. That's interesting for sure. That's a great way of explaining it. Am I 10?
Right? Like I found that if you tell it to explain it to you on different levels, like I was having it explain to me how to gauge strengths of economies based on me being like a 14-year-old in high school. And then I bumped it up and it's like, okay, so explain it to me as if I'm a freshman in college. And you kind of get to hit on deeper and deeper points.
That's pretty cool. That's a great use for that. AI, man, it's all about the prompts. You just got to know what to prompt it and what you're looking for, and it's pretty good at giving you what you need. You just got to get the prompts right. But yeah, man, Bitcoin dominance is continuing to fall, which is interesting. DAG, so DAG. See, this is what I was looking for. So the total 2 is what I've been looking for on Bitcoin. To come down and sweep the lows, and then we can turn back to the upside. So it's kind of interesting to see the altcoins. The total 2 is all of your altcoins. It's everything but Bitcoin. So it's kind of interesting to see that that's already taken out the lows here. So it'd be interesting to see that if altcoins really start going. I don't know. That's going to be pretty wild. This looks like it's like a completed correction, ready to turn back to the upside. So yeah, if anybody else wants to hop in, Black Chan, if you've got anything else, anything in particular you want to go over, just go ahead, talk, say it. Just let me know. You can interrupt me whenever. That's what this is all about. It's all about just community hangout, community talk, community chill. Just trying to talk about markets and get an understanding of the markets to the best that we can. CC90 is in here. I wonder if he's got anything to say. But yeah.
Well,
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Sorry, I jumped in here with that delay. I figured I'd just get it straight from Blackie's mouth. So,
Oh, there you
nothing
go.
to add.
What's that? Nothing to add?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All good, man. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what we got. What altcoins might you be looking at coming up for, let's say, after this correction is wrapped up? What are we looking at? Are we going back to AI coins? Because I'm kind of got my eye on that right now. I've kind of got my eye back on the AI coins. It's just that was like one of the. Was that not like one of the first narratives? I feel like it was. I feel like it was one of the first narratives that got going, and it was one of the first sectors of the of crypto that really started moving along with Bitcoin. Since we bottomed out. Yeah, so I'll be looking at AI coins. Are NFTs dead? Like, I mean, I don't think they're dead. I think they need to be brought back to life and outside of like your JPEGs, and it needs other utility. Had to jump into the Beaches Discord finally. Glad you made it, C90. Glad you made it. But yeah, what are you seeing any narratives pop up? I'm not necessarily seeing any narratives other than doom and gloom FUD. Right now it seems like it's just all FUD. Have you been noticing anything?
Since I decided to back Ethereum this run, on this last dip, I spent a significant amount of my capital picking up layer twos and then adding to my injective and near protocol bags.
I see everybody talking about injective. What exactly is that? I honestly have never even looked into it.
It's just a layer one.
Okay.
It has really decent TPS, so it's it's I wouldn't say it's a replacement for Bitcoin, but it's very supplementary with Bitcoin.
What kind
Where
of?
it's like
I was gonna
you
say
could
what kind.
also kind of use it like Caspa, but they're also building like smart contracts and things like that on top of it, so they can have like their own ecosystem. It looks like they're trying to pair with gaming.
With game, is it proof of work, proof of stake? What exactly is it? Type of protocol?
I'd have to look at that again. I look at so many coins, it's hard to keep track
It's
sometimes.
so hard to keep track, man.
Oh, it's proof of stake. Yeah.
Okay.
So I get uh it's like 15.9% APY staked on that.
Dang.
Yeah, it's extremely high. And that's self-custodied in the Exodus wallet.
Exodus. Self custody and Exodus. What do you think about the government trying to go after? It looks like they're trying to go after the U.S. government anyway. Trying to go after self custody. Is that what I'm looking at here? Am I a money?
Um,
Am I a money? Am I an illegal money transmitter if I use my friend's money to pay for like food that we get or something? Like, does that make me an unregistered money transmitter?
and see, I feel like the biggest reason that they are coming after all of these cryptos, one after another, is they're just trying to slow it down because this is a digital revolution against their system.
Hmm.
Everyone relies on fiat, and here's a ready system that just needs a little more work to integrate into your daily life, and it replaces their dollar. And it's strong. You don't have to worry about, hey, what's actually on your books. You just go look at the blockchain. You saw that this dude sent this other guy 100 Bitcoin, and then that wallet then turned around and sent this other wallet 25 Bitcoin. So, like, what's going on. There's nothing hidden.
I have a theory about this. I think the U.S. government might have invented Bitcoin so that they could be the next. Uh, they could help guide it. They could be part of the revolution. It's possible, because slowing it down makes sense if you're trying to make a smooth transition and you're not trying to have everything just kind of just happen all at once, because that would be extremely chaotic, because you're talking about people's money. But you also have to change the general population's perception of money, um, because so many people are so, you go to the store and you look at all the prices of things, and they're in dollars. They're not, or whatever your local currency is. It's not in Bitcoin, or it's not in anything other than dollars. So just that whole thing of getting the mind to even, I mean, you got to start, with kids, I guess. You got to just be like, oh, well, let's see, let's convert this $4.25 into Bitcoin. Oh, that's so many sats. Just got, I don't know, man. That's gonna be very that transition's gonna be one of the bumpiest parts. It's just kind of I mean, maybe not. Maybe they can stay in dollars. It'll just be like a stable coin or something, but it'll be backed by a blockchain. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
You'll just
But I do.
have to have an algorithmic stable coin and not really
Ooh,
backed by anything.
algorithmic. Anytime I hear algorithmic
You-
stablecoin, I get PTSD from Terra Luna. It's like I wasn't involved in it at all. I didn't own any Luna, but it's just like I still just I can't trust them. I can't trust the algorithmic stablecoins because of Luna, and that sucks. I really wish they would have been better stewards of that, but hey, I mean, Do Kwon was he was told, straight up, like, this is a problem for your chain, for your thing, and he just like, we're gonna be okay, and he like made fun of people that were like pointing it out, and then it collapses, and it's like, well, we tried to tell you, and all you did was trash talk us. So if you go to prison, it's on you. But yeah, that
Things
transition from dollars to crypto, just that whole mindset shift in value, shift in our understanding of value. I mean, that's what's gonna take the most time, and it's gonna be a slow transition. And I don't think you can just do that like overnight. So the government kind of coming in and kind of slowing things down. I mean, yeah, it's a nice narrative saying, yeah, they don't want it, and, or, whatever. But at the same time, I think that maybe they know they just can't stop it, but they do want to slow it down because they know that, it would be it's a difficult transition when you have so many people, 18, 16, and older that have only used cash. They haven't used crypto in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you even have Jim Cramer right now saying that Bitcoin is not going anywhere.
Oh, so we're going to the upside? Is that what?
Well, I mean, he's just in at the right time saying that Bitcoin's not going anywhere while everything's going up. But it isn't going anywhere. It's never failed, and it's been around since 2009. I've got a little Reddit post pulled up that dates back to some people back in 2011. He was a coder that went and talked to the FBI about Bitcoin back in 2011, and
Oh, we're doing conspiracy
he's
hour? Let's go.
yeah, he's rumored to be one of the people associated with the creation of Bitcoin. His name's Gavin Andreessen, and it's like he went
Love it.
missing right after this, and this was also like 2 days after Satoshi disappeared off of the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah, the NSA can't create fake people and create fake storylines. That can't happen.
Oh, never. Well, I mean, there's also been the giant association with there's similar codes that have been written that that were at the NSA at that time that Bitcoin is similar to.
Hmm. Well,
So it's a whole rabbit hole that the government might have had hands in creating it, but I don't think they fully created it
probably not.
because these people broke away from the NSA
Right.
and then went and did their own thing.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
that's a more likely story. If you look at the cryptography back in the 80s, and they're trying to figure out a way of just encrypt things. And then it ended up evolving with a group that, hey, we could do this with money as well. I think if the government had any say in that, I guess they would hold on for this long. But if they had access to Satoshi's wallet, would it be better for them to wait until 2140, move a few coins out, or do it now before adoption happens? I could see either way, being beneficial to their end game.
Blackie? Chan?
Well, I mean, I think that's why they don't sell all of their Bitcoin holdings. Like they stole everything from Silk Road and then Silk Road 2, and then there was one other one. The FBI seized all their funds too, and they're just sitting on it. They've sold a little bit here and there, but it's like they're still one of the bigger holdings of Bitcoin. And it's like you you would have been in from the ground floor though if you had created that. You would have been buying back in 2011 when we actually started having a dollar amount tied to Bitcoin. Because before that, you were just kind of mining Bitcoin and getting your Bitcoin. And Satoshi was like single-handedly mining Bitcoins to keep it afloat until it got adopted. And like there was no dollar value to it until you had some dude being like, "Hey, I'll give you, I don't know, it was like 2,000 bitcoins if you'll buy me a pizza." And the dude bought the pizza, had it sent to his house, and then he gave him 2,000 bitcoins. And this is where you start seeing, "Hey, this thing has value." And now someone sells it to you, like on Mount Gox, or any of you buy it from the miner because it's now been given value.
Excellent. C90. Trade
No, I
fly.
agree with that.
Trade fly. I see you in here. What's going on, my guy?
Just lurking in the background, my dude. How you doing?
Oh, doing well, man. Just enjoying some crypto discussion.
Yeah, buddy. Trying to
Yeah.
get smart listening to you guys.
I'm trying to get smart listening to Black Chan. He's a lot more into the fundamentals because I took about a year and a half hiatus from fundamentals, which is a long time in crypto. Like you almost can't do that. Because
Yeah.
because I went like almost straight just trading, and so I'm trying to get back to the fundamentals to kind of keep that. It just worked better for me in my lifestyle at the time, because I can't sit there and trade throughout the day, really, like intraday trading. That's kind of why I've been hitting so many trades lately, is because it's low leverage and it's more of like I will hold a trade till the next day, if I have to, and
Yeah. So I have definitely very much strayed away from intraday scalp trading essentially, and I'm almost exclusively swing trading. And that would align with, you see that I'm always preaching about horizontal levels of support, resistance with trend lines, and then having everything kind of line up because I just sit there and wait for it. Like, I really don't care what it does in the middle. I just wait till it comes to where I'm interested in buying it. So it keeps me out of the fundamental game also because, to be perfectly frank, I don't have the time for that. I rely on people like Crux to give me all that juicy stuff, about projects. But I mainly stick with the ones we know, right? I mainly trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, AVAX, ADA, whatever, is pretty conservative, but I always have a stop loss too. So even if it's something silly happens with whatever coin project, I'm always kind of, I got an out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's just kind of how I've been. Uh, yeah, the fundamentals. That's why I love having Blackie Chan here, because he's really good with those fundamentals and can really break things down uh, well for me. He's like the crux of Lunar Beach's
the
crypto.
guru. Hey, you gotta have it. You gotta have it, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a big piece, and knowledge is profit, right?
Knowledge is profit, man. Great Piper Academy tagline. By the way, Piper Academy link is in the description. Go join those guys along with Alex O Crypto. His link is also in the description. Friends of the channel. If you appreciate and you like discussions like these, go ahead and give us a like. I'm trying to do this at least every Sunday morning, so we can have some nice broad discussions, bring the community in, and other people from other channels too. Just talk crypto, talk trade, talk charts. While I have you, TradeFly, do you have anything you're looking at on the trade side, on charts?
Not a whole lot, man, to be honest with you. I will say something that I am getting more bullish on by the day. So I'll drop that nugget for you. And it's kind of one that I mentioned already, but AVAX. Like, it just seems to keep trending in the right direction. And it's the one I use to kind of shift money around from exchanges now, because it's
Really?
efficient and it's very low cost. So I know a lot of people use Solana, but I've started using AVAX and I have not had a single issue with it. So that, and then having the gaming narrative be part of that ecosystem, like, that makes me very bullish on AVAX, because I've been saying for a while, I think the biggest utility, once they kind of get like good top tier games, is really going to be in gaming. I think you're going to see an explosion in gaming, and I think there's going to be a lot of money that flows through it, especially when you can start using those like microtransactions with a cryptocurrency. And AVAX, I think, is one of the players in that game. So I'll say that would be kind of my bullish play.
Do you know if they have any partnerships in the gaming?
I haven't read up. I know they have partnerships. There's no doubt. I think they just had one recently, but I don't know exactly who it is. Not like Matic, where I'm pretty familiar with most of their partnerships. That's why I've been bullish on Matic, because they've had a lot of like big name companies like Starbucks, designer clothing brands, all kinds of stuff. So that's why I always talk about Matic, but they just really haven't seemed to make the move that I thought they were gonna make. It's kind of feels very Cardano-ish, just kind of sitting back. But yeah, that's something I'd have to look into. But I know that AVAX, I don't know, man. That's just one of those ones you get that gut feeling about. AVAX is that one for me right now.
It looks like they're partnered with Microsoft, Google, Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, Cornell, Columbia Business School, Cisco, Capital One, AT&T, Tiger Management, NASA, Harvard.
Is that
Are
not
these
good enough for you?
partnerships?
That's insane.
Yeah, there you go, man. So
That's pretty
proof in
wild.
the pudding. See,
I see
There it is.
Amazon AWS was like something new. They got Ava Labs. That's what I want. That's what I need to get into. Need to get into Ava Labs and see if they have any like tokens or something. That's what I want to look at. C90 says I've been using Arbitrum to move around with as well. AVAX gaming is strong. Would like to see more AI within AVAX. AI within
Yeah.
AVAX. So
I
the
mean,
chart
could be a
AVAX chart
possibility.
doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't. I mean, but it's not something I'm looking at short term. That would be something I'm looking at more long term, if you're going to hold a position, which is not something I usually do. But I think I'm getting very close to the point of throwing a little bit of capital at AVAX and letting it sit.
Yeah, you're not much of a holder, huh?
I'm not. No, I held some Bitcoin for a while, rode that up, rode it down a little bit, took some substantial profits with that a while ago. That's when I got into real estate. And then I had some staked ether that I held on to for quite quite a while. I cashed that out at about 4K. So that was pretty good. I think my entry there was at 18. So yeah, I'll hold for a while on some things, but I don't allocate a lot of capital to it, only because I was burned by Voyager a little bit. Like I actually made a video when Voyager went down, saying, "Hey, get out." But I still was like, I'll leave a little bit in Cardano and all that, and that sucked. But I had a lot more. I had probably about, I don't know, 15K or so on Voyager, and then I pulled a lot of it back, and I think when it went down, I had about 3 to 4 in there. But still, it's one of those things. I don't like. I've found ways now to limit my exposure, and one of the ways I do that, for people that haven't heard me talk before, on Coinbase, what I'll do is I'll make a trade. I'll stay in that trade for as long as I want, but when I'm done, I convert it back to USD. When you convert your funds back to USD on Coinbase, that is now insured because that money is held at a separate institution. There's a list of about 7 banks. It could be more at this point. All you got to do is go to the terms of service, read it, and then that money will actually be insured. So that's kind of how I protect myself now in terms of exposure, like hodling and leaving things in long term. I don't do that too much. I will say one of the things I need to do is the things that I want to hold, just put them on a hardware wallet. But I've been a stubborn mule when it comes to that. So, apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. But yeah, that's kind of how I work the game on a Coinbase at least. And then
So
all my DGen stuff, I send it out to different exchanges. So I'll send like a G out to like Bing X, Blowfin, and that way I can do my leverage plays and get my DGen stuff out so I can cure my itch. But other than that, I'm pretty conservative, man.
yeah, I definitely know that. So basically, what I just heard was you sold the top on Ethereum. Um, so when you go into the Coinbase, it says USD and USDC. So you're saying convert it to the USD, not USDC, correct?
Correct. Yeah, USDC is like every other token on that platform. If it goes down, when you get your money back, it's probably going to be a percentage. USD is 100% insured, and you will be the first person to get your money back when it's in USD.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind because I tend to keep mine in USDC because it does.
You get the 5%.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's their way to keep your money on the platform. And the other thing is too that you have to think about, right? I am willing to take the hits on something that I hodl, because you're probably like, hey, well, the percentages of converting it back and forth between USD suck. Yes, they do. But this is when I do that, like I I have to be profitable in the trades that I'm making to compensate for the fees that I'm going to pay. I'm just willing to do it because I still don't trust exchanges. I think Coinbase, though, if we're talking about stability and something that is probably going to hold up, Coinbase is probably the exchange to do it because they are actively seeking regulation, which is significantly different than some of these other exchanges, right? I was preaching about Binance being shady exchange for a really long time. Like they were doing a report for like proof of funds, and the company that actually was doing that report, they stopped doing the report in the middle of them trying to write a report saying, yeah, all of their funds, they have everything back to like they're saying they are. I can't remember what they were saying. I don't know if the allocation was like, hey, we can cover everyone's funds in Bitcoin or cash and capital, like different things that they were doing. But the company quit. And when they quit in the middle of that, I was like, nah, dude, like I'm not messing with them. Like there's no way. So, and then KuCoin, like they started getting FUD going, like same thing. It's like, you'll hear me say it. I play whack-a-mole with exchanges, bro. Like straight up. Like the one that's not getting the heat, like right now it's Blowfin. Before it was Bing X. right now. Like Blowfin seems to be like clear. I can almost guarantee you the next exchange that's going to take heat is going to be Blowfin. Now I'm not saying they're going to go down, but they're definitely going to take heat. And do not be shocked when they're like, they pull the okey doke. Oh, you need a VPN now. Oh, you need a KYC now. Like it's only a matter of time. I've been doing it now, just playing whack-a-mole for about 3 years with exchanges. So be ready for that.
Yeah, Binance's last proof of reserve release was back in 2022.
Yeah, there you go.
And
And I think that
Coinbase,
that one was like a secondary company.
yeah,
If I remember correctly, there was an initial company that quit, and then another company came in that they paid privately to actually do the report. So of course, you know how that works, right?
yeah,
Like yeah,
not amazing. Whereas in like
yeah,
I feel a little safer with Coinbase because Coinbase is audited quarterly by the SEC.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms of feeling safe about an exchange, Coinbase is the one. That's why I actually do keep some capital with them. But again, most of my capital is in USD with them when I'm not trading. So, but yeah, I mean, I probably sit about 15K or so on Coinbase, and I sleep okay at night for now. So,
For now.
for
What is it?
now.
I think it's like what 250K FDI
Yeah,
insurance, FDIC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So don't have more than 250K on there, guys.
And it depends on how they're classified as well. That's the other thing you have to look up, because brokerage accounts are not the same as like a FDIC insurance. They have their own insurance. I still believe, don't hold me to it, I still believe it's up to 250K, but it's a different insurance. So I don't know how Coinbase, that's something actually for me to look up as we're thinking about it, is to see which one it is, because there's two different types. I forgot what it was called now. I don't know if it's like SPIC, but I have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. BC. Don't forget, guys, you can just come in, join the Discord, and hop in and talk crypto or markets, anything else. Are you guys seeing anything in traditional markets that you've got your eyes on? I don't know whether it's good or bad, whatever it is. Is there anything you're watching in particular? Do you want to? Are you looking for Magnificent Seven to make some moves? Anything in there? Is Tesla doing anything? Just anything you've got your eyes on.
So
I am looking at the Reddit stock again. It finally hit its bottom. And then DJT as well. Those are just like more degen for me though.
Yeah. Uh, Tradefly.
yeah, I mean, I've been watching. I mean, Bitcoin, right? The thing that I've been watching for a really long time, and I'll actually look at the chart right now. So, into February, we have been in a range where it is literally, I mean, stayed within striking distance of the volume area high, volume area low. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, let's see, what is it, April, end of April? So 2 months. 2 months we've been in this range, kind of consolidating. So, that's really where I've kept my eye. Now it's starting to develop a money flow point of control as well, right by the volume area low. So, if you zoom out on the daily, I know a lot of what we do on Piper Academy is 4 hour, but if you look at the daily though, um, I don't know, man. It doesn't look great in terms of like there seems to be forming a series of lower highs. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely two, and then almost like a third right now, if it holds up, and that came right off of the point of control. So like it came up to
Mm-hmm.
the point of control, and it was like a harsh rejection. The moving averages are sitting there too, as, as well as a trend line that we had the initial rejection. Me and Piper were looking at. So I I don't know, man. Like looking at it, like I'm feeling like we might have a little bit of downward movement out of this. It just doesn't feel like it's building momentum. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to find the narrative that pushes us back up, but it feels like the overall market sentiment is not good, right? Because we had everything pump up, the S&P, the Nasdaq, Forex, everything was up, gold was up, like everything. So like I feel like as those things pull back because the correlation now between Bitcoin and traditional stocks, when those markets get scared and those markets pull back, I think that we're going to see that pullback for cryptos now as well. I don't know. I mean, there'll always be some divergence, but I don't know that the divergence is going to be as significant. And the other thing that I was tracking, like during the bear market, is Bitcoin. When Nasdaq was pulling back, there was a really tight correlation. Like if you go back and look on the charts with the Nasdaq, Bitcoin and Nasdaq were just going down together. Now they've diverged uh, since like 2023, but that's something I'm looking at right now. I'm not seeing the price movement off of these support areas that I would like to see for continuation of the upside, to be honest. So
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Nasdaq overlaid on top of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, they both kind of topped at the same time. Both started
that's something
coming
I'm keeping
down.
an eye on personally.
Yeah, and bottom at the same time. Then came up. Both saw about a top at the same time and a pullback at the same time. But the Nasdaq has gone up to create. It's put in a higher low and a higher high. So uh, Bitcoin could be following suit. I mean, these two tend to be pretty tightly correlated, especially on tops and bottoms. Um, like they between tops and bottoms, they get a little off correlation, but they but they do tend to hit their bottoms and tops right around the same time, which I find pretty interesting. But yeah, the Nasdaq is definitely one I want to watch. But the S&P 500, I think it was the S&P. I believe the S&P 500 just had its biggest gaining week since I want to say, what was it, November of last year? I want to say it was since November. Where's my?
Yeah, I was reading something about it. There was a single day. It was like one of the biggest gaining days, wasn't it?
It
I don't know if it
possibly.
ended that way, but it was definitely tracking.
So yeah, we've got Nasdaq here. Let's see. Yeah, this week ended. Let's see, November of last year. Yeah, I want to say this was the
I mean,
one,
there was
or this.
February 22nd, it smashed up nicely. And then again back in January 18th.
Yeah.
And if you notice, these are like, not to get too conspiracy, but it's all around conflict times. And I don't know if you know, but the S&P is heavily into defense stocks.
Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't
that
have to
makes
be
sense.
It doesn't really have to be a conspiracy for the market to react to news. If it starts doing stuff before stuff happens, that's interesting. But if it's a reaction, I don't know. I don't know. What's the October
October 7th.
7th, September, October.
And
Look,
it started reacting October 5th.
yeah, it bottomed out here a few days before, started moving up. Here's October. Let me just mark it off. October 7th. It was on a Saturday, so it's not gonna. So there's the Friday prior. Oh, that's something. What do you guys think about stock markets going 24 hours?
I would love it.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I do think that'll pull from some of the crypto market, but
Yeah.
I'm in on that for sure.
I would love to get home and then not just look at crypto.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that cure their itch with crypto. To be perfectly frank.
Maybe I kind of
I
like
would
how,
have to agree.
yeah, I kind of like how it kind of has off time because it's kind of just like it doesn't when you say help cure your itch or whatever. I kind of I like that the fact that you're kind of forced to not have to not trade. It's just kind of like, maybe it helps some people.
Right.
Um,
I mean, that's where you're at in your life, though. I mean, there's a lot of people, though, that are gambling, degenerate people that just can't stop. And they love trading 24/7. Like, and for me, like, so like during my work hours, I'm in a confined area. Like, I don't have access to that stuff. So like I have to do that outside of normal working hours, we'll say. So like I would be blindly playing stocks, personally a lot of the time. So for me, I mean, to be able to trade stocks outside of normal working hours is dope. So again, I'd be all in on that. But hey, so you got the S&P pulled up right now, right?
yep.
What moving averages do you have on? You got the SMA. You got 20
So
and
this
50.
Yeah, this is 50. This is a
Okay,
Fibonacci
put the 20
EMA.
on.
Okay.
Got you. Put the 20 and the 50 SMA on.
Oh,
And the only
SMA.
reason I'm having you look at that, yeah, SMA. So the reason I'm having you looking at that is because we just got a cross of the 20 and the 50. And not only did you get the cross, but you also got a rejection off of almost that exact spot. So if it holds as an area of resistance, you are now forming a lower high.
Give me 1 sec. 20.
Making my do public math here. This is good.
50. 20, 50. Let me turn off the not MCA. There we go. So what were you saying? Got some
So the
separation.
20 and the 50, there's a cross right now. So the 20 is crossing the 50 to the downside. But at the
On the
same
daily?
time, there was a rejection. Yeah, on the daily. Mm-hmm.
It's not crossing on here.
It is on mine. You got the SMA?
SMM? What the heck is SMMA? What am I doing?
SMA. Yeah.
I know.
Smooth versus.
It's all good. Take my word for it.
No.
Take my word for it.
No, I don't
All right?
believe you.
Yeah.
I got it. I got
See,
it.
like,
Yeah, so
I just have the moving averages pulled up,
20,
and on the hourly they just cross to the downside.
50. There we go.
And
so it's something to keep an eye on, right?
Okay, I
Like,
see. I see it now. It's popped up now.
see it?
Okay. Yeah,
Alright.
they're crossing.
They're
20 to
crossing,
50.
but the thing is, like, there was a rejection in that area also, right?
Mhm.
So now, where do we go from here? Well, I'd say the bias would probably be down.
Well, let's go ahead. We can go see. See, we crossed here.
There it is.
We got a
Now,
little mini
yeah, I see
pump
it.
up, and then we came down.
Mhm.
So
see, and the next gap is at 437.
437.
We just closed the gap with that move down, and there's a gap at 437.
Wait, what do you mean 437? Or are you
on the
on?
price.
Are you on futures?
S&P. I'm on the SPY.
So I'm on S&P, SPX.
SPX.
I think you're on
can switch
Yeah,
futures.
that's what I'm on.
I think you're on futures, fam.
But yeah, I mean, regardless, I mean, it's something to keep an eye on,
Uh,
right? When you have things lined up there, when you get a cross to the downside, which we haven't seen for a while, right? We had that cross to the
Mhm.
upside, and that was back in November. So we haven't had a cross to the 20, and well, that was actually the 100 I'm looking at. So the 20 and the 50 when it crossed the upside, yeah, that was November. So that's a long time, man, to have a bullish trend up and right. That's wild. And that's like a clean,
Yeah.
like, I mean, LBC, dude, you know how I say lunar bitch is crypto, man. The way just riding the waves all the way up. It was just
Lunar bitches.
hitting on that 20, ride
Yes.
What- What's
It sounded like you said lunar bitches crypto.
uh that must that's my mic, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. But riding the waves all the way up, man. So, but yeah, now we're finally getting something that's showing us, something a little different, right? We actually, I would say, have a lower low and now a lower high potentially with that rejection if it plays out. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. Those that are listening.
I would definitely be.
It's our first indication of a reversal of trend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. We do have these equal lows down here, which, I know that price will eventually like to get down there for sure. When, I don't know, but I do know that price likes to take out equal highs and equal lows, and these are very prominent down here. Let's see. Stock or crypto? Does anyone trade futures? Says Melissa. What's going on, Mel? D Jenny says, let's see. Nice to see everybody here on a Sunday. Wait, it is Sunday, right? Yes, it is Sunday.
Dude, that's how I woke up. I don't know if you saw in Piper. I woke up today. No
Mhm.
crap. I set up. I had everything on, like lights. I was ready to stream, bro. And I was like, why didn't I get a lot? Why didn't I get a key for this morning? And then, like, I was so out of it because I worked last night, and like working on the weekends just has my body just thrown for a loop. Because my routine is like if I work, like I wake up and I do this live stream for 2 hours. I go back to sleep, and like I just totally thought it was ready. Like I was like, this is Monday, let's do this, and I was like, where is everyone? And then I think I was saying next time I'm just full send, bro. I'm just gonna pump out the live stream and go for it. Like,
Hey, check this out, TradeFly. So back here in 2021, we got that
Alright.
bearish cross, and we fell below it, and we even rejected off of it. But then we went on for an extra push to the upside before everything really started faltering. Do you think that's a possibility?
I mean, sure, the S&P. I mean, historically, that thing just keeps going up and right. It's one of the safest investments you can make. So yeah, I mean, I could see like a pullback, but that's kind of what I'm pointing out, right? Like you can play things both ways. So if you get an indication of reversal of trend, play it down for a little bit, and then when you get that indication of reversal of trend again, where it looks like it's going to start pushing back to the upside, you can exit. So, you know,
Yeah, I'm
something
kind
I'm
of.
looking at. But yeah, I see what you're talking about. It looks very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of with Blackie Chan. Um, I get really uncomfortable. I'm just when he said something about this the other day, and I was just like, you know what? I kind of feel that. Because I'm much more comfortable buying and buying dips and holding until prices go up, because most charts, if you look at them, if it's not the Dixie, they're up and to the right. Assets are up and to the right, generally speaking, and over time, just buying dips, kind of, it pays off more than it does shorting, and that's why I'm not a big fan of shorting at all. Plus, it's just easier to buy dips and sell rips. Um, it's easier for the average investor to do that. And if you're buying stuff with good fundamentals, then that just tend to go up and to the right over long periods of time. That's kind of what it's just easier to just buy something and hold it, and just buy the dips and hold it and DCA, and then DCA in and DCA out. So when what I would like to do is buy as price is coming down, and then buy on the dips on the way up. But then once you start breaking out into new highs, you start to DCA out of the market. Why do I like that? Because that's exactly what the institutions are doing. That's what they're doing. You know, when things are breaking out into new all-time highs,
Yeah.
that's when retail tends to jump in, and then now you have someone to sell to. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get that. It depends on the asset though, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
look at
Of
Cardano.
course.
So I got into Cardano initially. It was at $1. I got in at $1. That was the first time that I bought Cardano. I rode that up to $2.60, and I got out. Kicked myself in the ass because it went up to 3, but then now I look like a genius. So one of the things that I started kind of developing was like, hey, like you can trade this puppy on the way up and on the way down. So I was, dude, I was nailing trades like shorts, and it was all small trades. It wasn't anything too degen, but I was making in the bear market between 10 and 15K a year trading things on the way down. So I'm adding to my capital while people are essentially still losing because you're putting money in, assets still coming down, putting money in, assets still coming down. You're still losing money, like until it recovers or fully recovers. So if your entry on Cardano is at $1 and it's sitting at 50 cents, and let's say your average is 75 cents in terms of your entry, like because you bought it down as you DCA'd, I've added to my capital on the way down. So I can turn around and buy now at 50 cents, so that's just kind of my own strategy that I've developed over time. And a lot of my trades are very, I'm not going to say super short, but they're pretty quick because I'm huge on support and resistance levels. But I mean, adding 10 to 15,000 of my capital every year with that is just what I guess I found my comfort zone. And I get it, man. Like Bitcoin, like you could have bought the top and DCA that thing all the way down, and then at 30K you're profitable. So buy at 69, DCA all the way down to, what was it, 17, 16,000, somewhere in that area. And then DCA all the way up to 30, you're profitable. So like people are sitting really pretty right now that started getting into Bitcoin even at the all-time high. So I mean, yeah, dude, there's a couple ways to skin the cat for sure. I've just found comfort in protecting my capital and being conservative with the way I run it on Coinbase. But I've actually, I think percentage wise, I'm probably a little more successful on shorts than I am on long positions, which
That's
is
wild.
funny. Yeah, but I find them easier because like when it went up to the all-time high recently, I was sitting on a live stream and I was like, are we shorting here? And everyone's excited because it's the all-time high. And I'm like, there's gonna be a pullback, bro. Like it's not gonna moon through the all-time high.
No.
And so it pulled back, it wasn't too crazy, but I took my little percentage there, 5 to 7%. And I was just like, cool, there's my play. I'll do that. I'll let it go up again. We set an all-time high. What am I doing? I'm shorting again. I don't know why. I find it easier, to play. One, I can see it better on the charts, but two, the psychology of the market is something that I really like take a big interest in as well. Like when I get to those significant numbers, like Solana, when that thing went up to 200, I said people are gonna take profits at 200. I drew the line. I talked about it on the show, and I was like, that's an area where you can short, and like it's gonna pull back. I'm not saying it'll never go back over 200. It's an area that you can short, and like you can take those profits and then wait for the next setup. What's the next coin that's going to do something crazy and drive up really high and either set an all-time high or kind of get up near where you're seeing, on the one of the things on the weekly on like Bitcoin, right? Had I been into TA more when it set that second all-time high, what was it, 2021, I believe. So when it went up to like 69K, if you zoom out and you look at that on the weekly, you will see the biggest bearish divergence of your lifetime. And like that was one of the easiest plays of all time. Granted, I'll be honest, I didn't catch it because I really wasn't into TA that much at that point. I was just like, hey, this is fun and I'm making money. But when it pulled back, once it pulled back, I think that's really when I took a like huge interest off of that second all-time high is when I took a big interest in Bitcoin and like actually, or not just Bitcoin, but like technical analysis. And I was like, you know what, I need to learn this. And then I just fully engulfed myself. But again, long story short, shorts are just for whatever statistically I've been better at those, been better at finding those. I don't know why.
So are you like
You were born in a
low
bear market.
leverage, like
You were born in a bear
born
market.
in a bear market?
Yeah.
Nah, I was actually in before that second all-time high. So when Bitcoin was at about 28,000, because that was my I think initial entry into Bitcoin, and ADA was at about $1. That's about when I got in.
Go ahead, Black 10. I gotta walk away for just 1 second.
so
can-
on those shorts, are you talking about like, hey, I'm gonna be in this short for a day, I'm gonna be in this short for several days because I noticed this trend? Is it like a 5x short or maybe lower leverage?
Yeah, it all depends, man. Like if we find ourselves in a range or some kind of consolidation like we are with Bitcoin right now, that one I may ride between the levels. If I have a value, the volume area high, volume area low, then I might play those levels. But when we start like having big moves up, and I start getting that indication of reversal of trend, I'll do some little like DGen plays there. Or if we get to an all-time high, like I did that live. Like we were live streaming when it went to the all-time high, and just because I knew that there was going to be a pullback, I was waiting for a 1 to 2% move, and I used 5x leverage, and that was a very quick play, and it was in and out. That one is, hey, I'm setting a tight stop loss, but at the same time, like I'm only looking for again like a 1 to 2% move. It's a lot of capital though. Like it's a big capital investment in that, but again, it's low leverage, and like I'll set it. I'll be like, hey, 2%, 5x, boom. I don't even like look at support and resistance at that point. That's more of like, hey, what am I going to do, risk to reward, and then set those lines. So it just kind of depends on where we're at and what we're doing. Like right now for Bitcoin, it's very easy to see the low and the high of the range. So there's no real harm in trying to play it between those, or at least to the point of control. That would probably be the more likely of the two plays that I would make. Is I would look at that volume area low, play it up to the point of control, and then exit. And I would I would beat that area too, because one of the things I've noticed, like psychology wise, is a lot of people are looking at the same thing on the charts nowadays. Like we're all getting smarter. Like we have these channels, here with LBC, Piper Academy, all that. Like everyone's watching this stuff throughout the day, right? So like sometimes people like it feels like you get beat to the punch by like a few dollars or $5. So I'm usually a little conservative. Like I'll be under my point of control or a little over, the volume area low or high or whatever the case may be, or just a horizontal level of support and resistance. But those are mainly the setups I look for, and I love it when trend lines, like you find confluence between trend lines, support, resistance, and then like moving averages, and then I can see like the RSI, or like we use the prime oscillator on the show, but if I see the RSI like trending, like say if I'm looking to go long, if I see that trending up in confluence with a bunch of those other things, like that would be kind of like a primo setup for me personally, and I found pretty good success with that so far. It's a very basic, easy way to trade, and it's also a nice way for me to let things come to me, right? Because I have those areas identified, and then I can get my alerts. I can go, all right, let's look over the charts and let's check like the news, like what's going on right now, like why are things dipping? Did something happen in Iran, that's influencing the market? And so I try to bounce those things before I enter the trade. And I've also like blindly just left stuff. And that the funny thing is that's actually paid off for me a couple times. Like where I looked at something, I was like, hey, if
Same.
it pulls back to here, like I'm in. And it did. Like it would wick down and it would trigger an order, and I'm just like, wow, like I just made a couple G in like minutes. But those ones you can get stopped out pretty easy. Also, I've definitely had to go that way as well, where It wicked down, it bought, it sold within like 30 seconds. So, you
Yeah,
know,
definitely had
it
that.
it happens.
It does happen, especially in such a volatile market. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So I want to go ahead and wrap this out. If you want to go ahead and just say some, just give some party fly, and then we'll go to you, Blackie Chan, and
Yeah,
then
dude.
I
Hey,
gotta wrap it up.
well, hey, thanks for letting me talk on here, man. It's awesome being able to catch a live stream with you. So it's super dope just coming on and chilling and chatting, dude. So if you guys aren't already subscribed, it looks like your ratio looks pretty good, man. I was looking at it. You had more likes than viewers, so good on you for that.
Mm,
So keep it up, man. Keep grinding, bro. You're gonna keep growing. So excited for you.
appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping on
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah,
giving
absolutely.
us your thoughts and your perspective and your knowledge and all that stuff. It's that's what this is about, man. That's what swim is all about. Just people who bring coming on and giving their different perspectives. And yeah, and it's also a community thing. I just like to have bring people in from the LBC community and just talk crypto, talk markets, talk everything, man. Just anything to help absorb knowledge, because knowledge is profit.
Knowledge is profit.
There you go. Thanks, Tradefly.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. You take care.
See you
Blackie
tomorrow.
Chan, it's been real, brother. I'll see you.
I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Black Chan, you got anything?
It was a great Sunday. I loved being able to come on here and give a little bit of knowledge, and some of my thoughts on more fundamentals, because I'm all right at charting, but I am better at knowing why to buy something. So anytime I can help share that knowledge, it's a joy.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I really hope we can. Well, one day this week we need to figure out what day is gonna be best for everybody to do community hangouts. So everybody be on the lookout for that. But yeah, we'll just have a community hangout in the Discord and just talk in the Discord. No premium stuff. Everybody in the community just chatting and going over things and just having a good time. Doesn't even have to be crypto related, but of course we're gonna go there. But yeah, thanks for joining, man. Do you have any socials you want to put out?
Um, I'm Blackie Chan 577 on just about everything.
Yeah. So just look out for him. We'll keep people posted on all that stuff. But thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Lots of alpha today, lots of fun. I always enjoy these conversations. And yeah, let's get into maybe some deeper conversation in the Discord right after this, if you'd like. I need to get a step away from the computer. So but yeah, thank you for everybody in the chat that joined. If you wouldn't mind smashing up those likes on your way out. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you for joining us. Well, see you bright and early. What is his OnlyFans name? Mr. J. That's funny. I don't even you threw me off on that one, man. Yummy Chan. It's Yum Chan. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. See, this is why we do this. Yeah, appreciate it, each and every single one of you. See you bright and early, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Lunar Beaches Crypto. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a radical rest of your day. Ride the waves. Peace out.